What is up, everybody? This is Dapper Dan here today to talk to you about something I hold near and dear to my heart, and something that I think is a great way for people that are doing Uber and Lyft to make a little bit more money and to just take their game to that next level that they really need. And so what we're talking about today is the 13 steps that it takes to become a professional driver with Uber and Lyft. Let's get into it. Now, I'm gonna start off by saying that for you, those of you who are watching this video right now, chances are you are looking for a way to up your game in Uber and Lyft. And that may be because you feel like there is something more you can do, or maybe you have a low rating and you want to get it to that higher 4.0 plus or 4.9 plus rating that you want, or you want to make more tips and make more money. Now, you're not alone in this. Everybody feels the same way. Everybody wants to be successful. Everybody wants to make more money doing what they're doing. And especially with Uber and Lyft, it is completely possible to make more money than what you are making now. Now, let me just say right off the bat that this isn't going to be some secret tips video that is going to teach you a magic way to make more money or to somehow connive people into giving you bigger tips or good ratings. These are simple steps that you can follow that will help you become a better, more professional driver, which in turn will lead to better ratings and more tips, since people like riding with people that they feel like are professionals and know what they're talking about. So let's hit it with point number one. So let's see. All right. So point number one seems painfully obvious, but I just gotta start off with it. Point number one, have a working car, or have access at least to a working car. Now, I'm not saying that you have to own your car, as with Uber and Lyft, they allow you to, as long as you are covered under the owner's insurance and you can provide documentation showing that you are in fact part of their insurance, or at least you have your own but you are covered for them, then you can drive for Uber and Lyft. That's it. You don't need to own your car. You can even rent cars. I mean, Hearst and I know Hearst and another car company offer rental services for Uber and Lyft drivers with cars that are already like pre-made and like pre-approved for Uber and Lyft. So there's really no excuse. I mean, if you're looking to become a driver and maybe you need an extra side income, or there is some bills you need to pay off, or maybe you want to save up for that vacation that's coming up in the next year or so, then Uber and Lyft is definitely a viable option, and that will be your first step to becoming a professional Uber driver, as obvious as it is. All right, now this one is one that I see too many people that do not do this one, but it is so obvious that every driver should be doing this one thing, and that is always have cleaning supplies in your car at all times, all day, every day. It should always be there. And the reason for this is because when it comes to driving or being a professional driver, when people get into your car, literally the thing that they are paying for is a safe, clean, comfortable, and professional ride to their destination. People could be taking subways or taking taxis or taking, God knows, people taking canoes to work, but people choose Uber and Lyft because they want a clean, comfortable experience. Now, I have gone into Ubers where people have all sorts of nastiness in their car, including like twigs on the floor and wrappers from old garbage and like unclean windows with like nasty spit on them and stuff like that. I've seen I've seen it all. And I can wholeheartedly say that if you keep your car clean, and I'm not saying you need to go and get your car detailed every week and have it perfectly spotless. I mean, that may be a benefit. That will definitely help. But I mean, doing the bare necessities that you need to keep your car clean, like keeping windows clean, vacuuming it like once or twice a week. I do about once a week. Keeping the outside of your car clean, taking it through a drive-through through a drive-through car wash if you don't have access to a water hose, like maybe you live in an apartment complex or something. Things like that provide a much better experience for riders than getting into a dusty, muggy, nasty smelling car that nobody wants to ride in. I mean, it's just common sense at this point. I mean, I would not want to pay money to sit in a gross, dirty car when I could be sitting in a gross, dirty subway for much cheaper than what I'm paying you for. But that's just my 2 cents. That's step number, what is that? Step number 11. No, 12. All right. Now this one, some people already do this, and it is a huge money maker and a money saver at the end of the year, and that is to download a mileage tracking app. Now, mileage tracking apps are so crucial to being successful in our line of work, and that is because that will save you money. As independent contractors, which is what we are not employed by Uber or Lyft. We are Uber and Lyft drivers, but we are more so Uber and Lyft independent business owners, since we have to file under an independent business tax form when we do our taxes. Now, knowing this, if you get a mileage tracking app, I mean, for me, I use one called Everlance. It's on, I'm pretty sure it's on Google Play Store and Apple App Store, whatever it's called. And this app will automatically track your miles. I mean, when you start driving, it automatically starts going. It tracks how far you're driving, the estimated cost that it costs for you to drive there, and everything like that. So it takes care of all the unnecessary stuff for you already. So you can just focus on driving and making your money rather than fiddling with other stuff. Now, this again is very important because at the end of the year, when it comes to tax season, then you will have documentation providing them with all of your statistics on where you drove, where you went to and came back, how long you're on the road, how many miles you drove, how much gas you used, all of that stuff. It will literally, it makes it so easy. And I'm not an advocate. I'm not sponsored or anything by Everlance, but I'm just saying they have options that you can export to cloud or PDF files, so you can literally just print them and give them to your tax person or upload it to like TurboTax or whatever it is you're using, which, by the way, you also get a discount on with Lyft, just so you know. So yes, download a mileage tracking app today, right now. After this video, go over, download Everlance, and have it on standby, because you are going to need it and you will not regret it, I promise you. Now this one is more optional because it will kind of lead into the next step that we're talking about, but I'm gonna go ahead and cover it for those of you who need it, and that is to go ahead and download a gas price checker app. What that is an app that you download on your phone, Apple or iPhone, or Apple or Android, either one, and it will tell you the prices of all of the gas stations near you. Now, why is this important? Because you, as the driver, you're going to be filling up your car almost every single day with gas to be transporting people back and forth. Now, when it comes down to it, yes, you do get reimbursements at the end of the year, but it is much nicer to save money today, to save money now. Why are you gonna wait to save your money when you could be getting discounts on gas today, right as you're driving? Literally, if you're out right now watching this video, download this app and just start saving money on gas. It's that easy. You really don't, there's no like gimmick or any catch to it. You literally just have to open the app, find the place with the cheapest gas that's not completely out of your way, and drive there. That's it. It's that simple. It's a great way that you can save yourself money, and honestly, most of the time you end up driving maybe a couple blocks further to get to the next gas station, but you're saving so much more money just for driving an extra minute or two, which makes it so much more worth it. I mean, yeah, the prices may be only in fluctuations of like 3 up to 8 cents difference, but when you're saving 8 cents every single time you go per gallon to fill up, that adds up quick. I mean, you look at how much times we fill up our gas in a day. I do mine, I fill up my tank at least 1 time a day before I start driving or after I start driving or after I finish driving. And I mean, most of the time I'm spending at least $25 to $35. I drive a little car, so it's easier. Not as gas guzzling as other ones. And I mean, I think I save anywhere from 27 up to 35 cents every time I fill up. Well, it doesn't seem like a lot. I mean, 3 days of driving, that's $1 I've already saved. That's 3 days, not even a whole week. So in a week, 2 weeks, and a month, you can see how that easily starts to add up. And at the end of the year, when you take a look at everything and you look at how much you really spent on gas, trust me, you'll see the difference in what you paid versus what you could have paid. And you'll be thankful. I mean, you won't regret it. Again, you won't regret it. Now this is a Lyft exclusive step. This is step number 9. And that is sign up for your Shell Gas Rewards card. Do it. Do it now. If you have a Lyft account and you're a Lyft driver, then you can sign up for this rewards card. I don't believe that there's any eligibility requirements or anything like that. Pretty sure if you sign up, you're accepted right away. Now, this isn't a credit card. It's not a free gas card or anything like that. This is a gas rewards card and discount card. So that means when you go and you're filling up at the Shell gas station, you get 5 cents extra depending on your status. If you're silver or gold status with Lyft, then you get 5 cents off every gallon you use. And if you're platinum status, which is for people that are driving like a lot in a month or a week, then you get 7 cents off per gallon, which is even better. Now, this can only be used exclusively at Shell gas stations, just so you know, it's a Shell gas station card. What do you think? However, the money that you spend on this card, you do accrue points towards things you can use to buy at Shell gas station. I believe other places too, but I'm not quite sure. I'm not sure about the specifics on what other places you can use it, but for certain, you can use it at Shell gas stations to buy stuff like snacks, waters. I mean, they sell weird stuff at gas stations now. You go buy like motor oil there. You go buy auxiliary cords there. I mean, it's free money. It's free money that you could, instead of using a dollar out of your wallet, you could be using a free dollar that you earned just for filling up and doing what you would normally do already. Now, it doesn't take a genius to find out why that makes sense and how it breaks down, because at the end of the year, you're saving money on the gas, the extra 5 cents. You're saving money on free stuff from there. I mean, there's no reason to not sign up. There's no reason. So I provided a link on there for more information. So if you want, go check it out, see exactly what we're looking at, and get signed up. Let's do it. Now, this one is so crucial, like a key component to making sure you are successful in this business. And that is, keep all of your receipts for everything. Even in your personal life, keep all your receipts. Never throw them away. I say this because as independent business owners, going back to what we talked about before, we get tax write-offs and tax breaks at the end of the year for the stuff that we spend money on that is business related. Now, what do they consider business related? You may be asking. Business related could be the money you spend on gas, your car payments, amenities you buy for passengers, if you use a room in your house to send out referral codes and sign your friends up, then that is a office that you use for it, so that is tax deductible. I mean, business cards, and pretty much anything you use for work. Besides, I'm pretty sure food doesn't count, like buying lunch and stuff. But besides that, almost everything is tax deductible at the end of the year. So why not? Why not take advantage of it? Why not keep your receipts? And when that time comes, you have records of everything that you've bought. Everything. I mean, there's no reason to not be doing this. I mean, yeah, it takes some getting used to, and it takes a little bit of kind of getting into that habit of keeping all of your receipts rather than just throwing them in the garbage after you get them, which, I mean, I'm even guilty of doing that sometimes. But this should be something that you carry into your personal life as well. Something that you do no matter what, whether it's business related or not, as it's just a kind of a way to keep house. It's a way that you can keep and manage your expenses and see exactly where all of your money is going without having to go into your phone, look at bank statements, and then if you have slow internet or anything like that, I mean, it becomes a hassle. I mean, for me, my bank I go with is not the most efficient bank as far as having their system set up. So having receipts makes it much easier when they're all in one place. For me, I just keep a little envelope in my car in the glove compartment where every time I go and I fill up on gas or I buy anything that's business related, I just put the receipt in there. That's it. Nice and simple. I'm not going and putting them into an online database or anything. I literally just keep them in an envelope, and my envelope says receipts on it. That's it. That's all you gotta do. Again, no reason you shouldn't be doing this. It is a very simple way to make a little bit more money and to just kind of take it to that next level where you are saving money and you are being efficient with what you are doing and working the process. Now, step number 7, this one may seem a little less obvious to some people, but it is another crucial step that you can definitely utilize if you live in an area where it's heavily populated or you drive in the daytime or anything like that. This is for you. Get and download the Uber and Lyft rider apps. Not driver apps, rider apps. Now, I know what you're thinking already. We are Uber drivers, not Uber riders. Why do I need this? What is this app going to do for me? The answer to that question is those apps will show you where all of the other drivers are in your area. All of them. Now, why is this important to being an Uber and Lyft driver? Because as Uber and Lyft drivers, the way that the queue system works up when people are looking for rides is it matches the rider up with the person that is in the closest proximity to them. So that means the person that is closest to them gets that ride. Now, I'm not saying that we're predicting where people are going to be, but we can know that if there is a large cluster of people and there is a huge, overpopulated area, that there is going to be bunches of Uber and Lyft drivers over there. There is already going to be a huge amount of people in that area that are getting rides. And if you're late to the party, then you're not going to be getting in on that action. You're going to get there, and those rides might be going to people a block over from you just because they happen to be a street closer to the person that's requesting the ride. I've had times where I've gone out and I've been in areas that are surged over, and they're all bright pink or bright orange or whatever, whichever app you're using, and I won't get a single ride because everybody else is in that area already. Everybody else is already there getting rides, except for me. So, the trick is, when you use those apps and you see large groups of people and you see a bunch of drivers all in one area, drive away, leave, go the other direction, go literally anywhere else besides that area, because when you are the only one in your area that is available, that means that you are casting a wider net for the riders to request you. They're not requesting people that are a street over or 2 cars ahead of you or a car behind you. People are requesting you because you are the only rider in your area. The metaphor I like to use is you are a fisherman if you were in a populated area, you are a fisherman in an ocean full of fishermen. So what are you going to stand out for? Why do you think you are going to catch more than everybody else when everybody else is already fishing out of that area? Be an innovator and go where people are not. Find the watering hole and the fishing hole that people are not already at, because that is where the money is. If you are the only driver in all of a 3-mile radius, then anyone from 3 miles away from you are going to be requesting you. Not requesting somebody else, requesting you. Getting you rides faster, making you more money, because when it comes down to it, we are not making money when people are not in our car. We are sitting there, we're sitting ducks. And in this job, if you are not riding with people, then why are you driving? So think ahead of the game. Go to areas where there's not a lot of other drivers and get your rides faster. Yeah, you may be not hitting that surge, but chances are, by the time you drive over to that surge area, it's already done. It's already over. The surge is gone. There's no reason for you to be there anymore. So download those apps now. There's no reason. They're free. Now, step number 6, drive at night. Now, this one is kind of a gray area because for some people it may work, for others it may not. Now, take it with a grain of salt, but driving at night offers a lot of benefits over driving in the daytime. Now, those benefits are things like you don't have to deal with traffic. There's no hot weather. You typically can get to your destination or pickup in a super quick manner. I mean, for the most part, if you're getting requested is 12 minutes away, which is pretty far. That's pretty far. You're getting there in 12 minutes. You're not going to be taking 30 minutes like you would in traffic time. I mean, the benefits are huge, and typically you end up making way more in an hour than you would driving in the daytime because you're not stuck in traffic. You're not waiting for other cars. You're on an open freeway or open roads, driving wherever you need to go. Now, there are drawbacks to this as well. And the drawbacks are that at nighttime, there does tend to be a little more, when you get requests, they might be a little bit further from you than you would like. And you deal with like drunk passengers and stuff like that. But I mean, for the most part, like, you're making more money for less work. You're not driving as much, you're not using as much gas, and yet you're still producing more money an hour. So it doesn't make any sense to not do it. Now, I mean, yeah, there is a difference of, I guess, that driving at night, people sometimes think that you won't get as many rides. That there aren't people requesting rides at 2 a.m. in the morning on a weekday, on like a Monday or something. But I have to say, honestly, there are people. There is still plenty of people. When it comes to it, there's people getting off of work, going to the gym, coming back from the movies, coming back from date nights. Not everybody works Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. There are people that work weekends, or people that work like graveyard shift, or people that work all of these different, or people that are up at all times of the night. And think about it this way. When you're driving at night and it's 12 o'clock at night on a weekday, you're the only fisherman in the ocean. Nobody else is out there driving. I mean, for me personally, when I'm out driving at 1, 2 a.m. in the morning and on a weekday, when I look at my rider app, I'm the only driver within like 15 miles over like 2 cities. And that means that all those rides, all those people that are requesting rides within a huge net of area are all coming to me. I'm making the money on all of them. Yeah, I may have to drive out a little bit further to get to my riders, but you know what? It's nighttime. Everywhere is closed. Nobody is going 2 streets over, going to the supermarket or going to wherever they're going. People are either coming back from places or they're going far distance to go places. So typically you'll end up making a lot more money on the fares that you were driving rather than going and making $2 on a small ride that takes you 15 minutes. So try it out. Drive at night. See if it works for you. It may vary by city and location, but you never know until you give it a shot, right? So go ahead and try. Now this one, I know is gonna contradict what I just said before. It's step number 5 is be where the action is. And I know, again, like I said, you're going to be going, well, you just told us to go away from the action. You literally told us if we see the action, run the other way, go anywhere else. I know I said that, but this is a little bit different. Be where the action is beforehand, before everybody else is there. before the surge hits, be there. How do you do this? How do you know where surges are going to be? Research. Do your homework. If you are going out driving on the weekend and you know you have Friday and Saturday, or Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or whatever combination of days allotted to drive, Facebook is a super valuable resource to finding local events in your city, finding out what concerts are going on, or what events, or what popular bars or beer gardens or whatever it is in your area. Finding out when those are happening, when they're closing, and being there before the rush kicks in is a great way to make extra money. Because think about it like this. When you're there and you get there, and say there's for us, I work in Sacramento a lot on weekends. So if there's, I know a game or a concert being held at the Golden One Center over in downtown, then I'm gonna be there 15 minutes before the event's over, waiting to pick people up, because I know that in 15 minutes, that event's over, everybody's gonna be looking for rides. And usually if you go about 15 minutes early, you can get somebody right off the bat that you can take, because there's always people that will leave a little bit early to try and beat the rush. So you go a little bit early, you pick up the person, you take them to their destination, and you come back. You drive right back with the speed of 1,000 winds. You just come back to where you just were. By the time you get back, that area will be surging and people will be needing rides. People are going to be requesting rides like crazy in that area. So you need to be the one that's there and prepared to get those people and take them to their destination. I mean, it's a brilliant way to predict where surges are going to be and to be where the money is, which in Uber, that's what it's all about, is being where the money is, being in the right place at the right time. So why not increase your chances, figure out things before, and get there instead of waiting for somebody else to get a ride, or waiting on a ride that may never come, or waiting for that $2 ride that goes down the street. Be waiting there and you will make money. Now, I would say the condition to this rule is to be there and only do about 2 rides. Typically, if by the 3rd ride, by the time you dropped off your second passenger and you're coming back, it's already been close to 45 minutes, depending on how far they are. And by the time you get back, everybody's already gone. Everybody got their rides home. The only people that are really left are going to be people that are like hanging out trying to find their next location to go to, which is typically within that same vicinity and area. So there's really no reason to be coming back there trying to get a ride when you might just be waiting or getting a ride for somebody that's going 2 blocks over to go to the nearest bar. So just after the second ride, just kind of clear out, find another hotspot to go to your next part where you know that there's going to be money, and go there and make your money. Simple as that. Now, this tip is going to be a little bit different than the rest of them. A lot of people won't think it's related, but it is. And that is fuel up properly. Now, I know what you're saying. Oh, well, I already fuel up properly. I keep my car fueled up before I even hit the road. I do all that kind of stuff. No, not what I'm talking about. Not at all what I'm talking about. What I'm saying when I say fuel up properly is fuel your body properly. When you go to work and you are hungry and you haven't eaten before, chances are you're not going to have a good shift. You're going to be focusing on where you want to eat, how hungry you are, and maybe getting sleepy. And on top of that, you're going to have to stop to get food in your shift. Now, when you're out eating food and eating dinner, whatever it is, you're not out making money. You're not getting rides. You're not getting people when you're eating lunch or eating dinner. That means less money in your pocket, more wasted time. Your shift has just gotten shorter because you neglected to take care of the absolute most important thing before you went driving. Now, along with eating before you go, goes eating healthy before you go. Eating vegetables, fruits, red meats, fish, stuff like that before your shift. I say this because how many times have you gone out and went to McDonald's or went to any like Italian place, Olive Garden, let's say, and you have a big fucking plate of pasta or a giant burger with bacon and all this stuff on it, you eat it, and then as soon as you're done eating, you're ready to go home and go to sleep. You're ready to go home and knock out because you just ate this huge, fatty, carb-loaded meal that literally is not going to help you at all. It's just gonna make you sleepy, make you full, and make you want to go to bed. Now, the difference is when you're eating healthy foods like vegetables, fruits, red meats, or fish, all of those foods are pretty much, they're gonna give your body the energy and the fuel that it needs for you to be able to concentrate, hold good conversation, focus on driving and getting them there safely, and providing an overall fantastic experience for riders, which is the whole point of this video. I mean, when you're eating and putting clean fuel in your body, you are generating more money because you are more pleasurable to be around. Nobody wants to be around somebody that is not talking because they're so hungry they can't think about what to say next. Besides, like, they want to think about a burger or going and eating the whole time. People want to be with people. People want to drive with riders or with drivers that are attentive and know what they're doing and have that personal or that professional persona about them. And when you're eating healthy and you're making sure you eat before you go to your shift, then you are maintaining that professional persona that we strive to go for. So eat healthy and put good fuel in your body. Simple as that. Now, step number 3. This one is one that I like personally a lot, that I think is a great way to make extra money. And the bigger tips, better ratings, stuff like that. And that is to dress sharp. Now, I had a sales mentor before that when I worked at one of my first sales jobs out of high school, and he said something to me that still holds true to me this day that I always keep in my mind, and that is dress for the job you want, not for the job you have. Now, that means that when you're going out and you're getting ready to go to start driving, don't be wearing an old t-shirt with some cargo shorts and a pair of flip-flops, looking like you just came back from the beach with your buddies and now you're out taking people back and forth after you just been suntanned for 3 hours. Dress for the job that you want. Nice, dress sharply, I'm not saying you have to go and blow all this money on a super fancy suit and a Rolex and all this other stuff. You don't need all that. You don't need to be going that extra. Just, for me, I'll have a nice white button-up shirt, a nice colored shirt, and then ties and bow ties that go with those shirts. I like bow ties. I'm a bow tie kind of guy, so that's what I like to wear. And a nice pair of slacks, some shoes, and a pair of shades. That's all you need. I mean, you can literally get all of these things for like under $100 from just like JCPenney or wherever you're at. I mean, it's you don't need to be a millionaire to dress like a millionaire. You just need to look the part, and trust me, people will appreciate it. When I go out and I'm wearing my white button up with a bow tie and my slacks and everything, I get compliments on it. People enjoy having a driver that looks like a driver. People like having people that look like professionals. Yeah, I mean, Lyft and Uber are catered so anybody, even college kids or whoever, can work. However, you don't want them to think that you're some random kid off the street who just managed to get a car and get a job with Uber. You want to look like you know what you're doing, like you are a trained and paid professional that will take them to their destination in the most comfortable, safe, and professional fashion possible. That is the goal. When you provide that kind of service, people will give you ratings and give you tips just because you look like you know what you're doing. You don't even have to talk. You can literally sit in your car quietly the whole time and they're not talking, and you will make money just because people appreciate somebody that looks like they know what they're doing. That's it. I mean, yeah, you have to invest a little bit into it, but you're investing in yourself. You are investing in you to make more money and to become a more successful driver. So why not? Now, step number 2. This one's important, so pay attention. Know your city and be a guide. Now, what this means is that you need to focus on being a tour guide and knowing the ins and outs of your city. Now, this goes back to what we talked about before, where we were talking and discussing knowing events, stuff like that, popular hangout spots, bars, pubs, stuff like that in your city. If you do your homework and you know that stuff, then you know your city. You know where everything's popping at. You know where people are going and spending their money. You know where people should be going. And when you know this information and you're equipped with that already, then you can provide an experience to people that they won't get with other Uber drivers. You can provide an experience where you can be the one telling people where to spend their money, where to go, where the popular spots are, where the best bar in town is, where the best restaurant in town is, where the best date spot in town is. You are the one that is literally guiding people to where they're going and telling them where to go next. That is invaluable for people. People have such a hard time deciding what they want to do. And if they just had somebody there to tell them what there is to do, then people will pay handsomely for it. People will pay money for that. People will give you 5-star ratings for that all day. And because you know what you're talking about, you know where the spots are, you know where they should be going, and people will definitely appreciate it. Trust me, it makes a big difference. And number one, numero uno, have a positive mentality when driving. Always, I cannot stress enough, always have a positive mentality when you are driving with Uber and Lyft. Now, it may seem like a no-brainer, but it is much more difficult for people to do than to say. Now, I understand that there are things that come up when we are driving as Uber and Lyft drivers, like when people almost crash into us, or when we get belligerent customers, or we get stuck in traffic for an hour and the passenger's complaining in the back, or we get somebody that spills something or tracks a mess in our car. It's whatever. I don't care what it is. It could literally be somebody could bring a giraffe in your car, and I don't care. Maintain a positive and professional mentality about it. If they get in and they're being troublesome or doing whatever, then still be professional. Be responsible. Don't respond. Don't match their level of anger or intensity. Be the adult. Be the professional that you are. If you need to, when the ride is done, if you need to take a second to de-stress and go park somewhere and kind of cool off, or call somebody to vent about what happened, then do it. Do it. Don't even think about driving your next ride until you do that. Because it is statistically proven that when people are under stress or they are in an emotional state of mind, then people will get into more accidents or not give as good of a experience to other people because they are not thinking about what they're doing. You can't focus on driving and delivering a 5-star experience and a memorable time for this person when you are so focused on that last rider that called you an asshole or something, which has no bearing on this next person you were driving. If you need to pull over, do it. Trust me. It'll prevent you from a lot worse that could possibly happen. And it takes a second. And with Uber and Lyft, we can log off at any time. We don't have to be on at all times. We're not on scheduled shifts. You can log on and log off whenever you want and hop right back on right after. Even if it takes 5 minutes, then do it. 5 minutes to provide another 5-star experience right after is much better than getting that next ride, giving them a crap experience, or getting in a collision. That was what will make your day bad. So keep that in mind. Always keep a positive mentality. So that is it for today. That is my 13 steps to becoming a successful driver with Uber and Lyft. Now, with all of these steps, like I said before, these are not secrets or tricks of the trade to try and connive people into giving you money. These are literally just things that I have observed in my time of driving with Uber and Lyft that make me more money, get me bigger tips, get me better ratings, and overall just have a better day. Now, that is what it comes down to really at the end, is whether or not we are enjoying what we are doing. Now, with these steps, I really hope that you can take them into consideration and try and apply them in your own driving so you can start making more money too, and you can start getting better ratings, and you could be on your way to that financial freedom that we all are working towards getting. Now, thanks for tuning in. If you like what you saw, go ahead and hit that subscribe button on YouTube, or check out my website at DapperDanTheDriver.com. And besides that, thanks so much for watching. Have a fantastic Dapper day, and get out there, hit the roads, make some money, and be happy. All right, take care.